After an initial impact by Lage, it seems that things have gone stale. What's going on with Lage? That and much more in another night, another podcast.
Hasta que no estás aquí dentro no sabes la grandeza de este equipo.
Quero o Benfica intimidar o adversário. Quero o manto sagrado entrar com vocês em qualquer estádio. E estamos, pá! É isso que eu quero!
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of the Talking to the Doll Benfica podcast. My name is Alfredo Fumacic, with you always, and always with us, Cristiano Oliveira. What's going on, Cristiano?
Alfredinho, what's going on, buddy?
What's going on, man? You seem a little bit down. What's going on?
You just one good? Of those days, man. Not a lot of energy right now. Just thinking about the fact I have to talk about Benfica. I feel like we're back in therapy sessions, depressing. I got my New York Rangers on the TV, and they've been a shit show. And so, yeah, not a lot to be happy about. Even though there's Christmas coming around the corner, Santa Claus is hopefully passing by the house, dropping off some milk and cookies. We'll see what happens.
Wait a second. Santa comes to your house to drop milk and cookies. He doesn't come and pick it up.
No, you don't bring me gifts. Better drop off some milk and cookies. You got to get on my good side before, you know what I mean?
Dave, what
take care of me, I'll take care of you.
Dave, how you doing?
Doing well. Hopefully a little bit more energy. Chris sounds like he should be in the starting 11 with that type of energy that he's putting on here. But good to be back. Not too many Freddies, but we got some Freddies rolling in, and hopefully we get more as the show continues. But shout out to the Freddies already in the chat.
Dave,
smash the like button. Smash the like button.
Does Santa also deliver milk and cookies to your house, or you leave the milk and cookies out for Santa?
I always heard that you have to leave the milk and cookies out for Santa, not the other way around. But Chris is a special guy. He's top class, so he's got some sort of arrangement with Santa Claus.
Yeah, Santa comes and delivers the milk and cookies to Chris. Everyone else just puts it out. That's how you do it, Chris.
Before you go on, I got to change the subject because now you guys are all going to steal my thunder on the milk and cookies thing. So I thought that was just a deal between the old man and I. But Dave, switch the subject. When you sit in starting 11, possibly in the middle, where would I play in that starting 11?
If you started in the middle, you might have the most energy.
Would I be a 6? Would I be like coming in to sweep up and clean up? I mean, where would I play?
I see you as a box to box connecting the sectors there, Chris. You can do everything. You can defend, you can attack. Let's put you right in the middle in there and connecting those sectors.
Yeah, I think you went to the same school as our head coach. You guys totally misjudged the players' abilities. But that's because me and defending, bro, we do not.
Bro,
Alfredo.
That's a good joke, man. I like that joke. It was I promise it wasn't set up, but it's a great joke.
I set it up. I did. I set it up when I asked the where would I play because I knew if I played in the middle, I knew it was coming down to that.
You knew where Dave was gonna go.
You fell right into the trap, bro.
Yeah.
But that's for another game. I mean, we still got other things to talk about. But nonetheless, listen, I don't think I said it right. Welcome to the Freddies. I think I did. I don't remember. Smash the like button.
Yeah.
And
yes.
Don't steal my milk and cookies thunder. That's it.
Smash the like button, and also if you haven't clicked the little bell to be notified when we come on live, please do that because we do come on live every now and again. But anyway, here we are. Episode 543 is what we're up to, and tonight we got Bologna, AFS To recap, and we also are looking ahead to Nacional, which happens this Thursday, which is the makeup game, or not the makeup game, but the continuation of the game that was abandoned a couple months back because of the fog.
Not to spoil it for everybody, guys, but
There's fog.
We might not be able to talk about that game because, I mean, according to the latest rumor, my connection in Madeira, the very reason that we had to cancel this game in the first place, it might be happening all over again. So maybe we won't have nothing to talk about that game.
Yeah, it's crazy because there was a report on Ebola. They've had 30-degree weather in Madeira this week.
Wait, degree, you got to clarify, but that's Celsius. Now, when you say 30 degrees.
Yeah, 30 degrees Celsius, which is what, 90s here?
Because us will be cold.
Yeah. Only in the United States do we use the Fahrenheit. I think everywhere else in the world, it's centigrade. But, but whatever.
Dave, you what do you use?
Celsius.
Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, shit.
Only you guys.
Only America. I think only America and maybe in one other country that uses Fahrenheit. Everyone else uses Celsius in the world. It's crazy. But yeah, they've had 30-degree weather, 30-degree Celsius weather, and they've also had sand dusting from Africa that's been blowing
from the sand dunes and stop playing.
I'm dead serious.
Stop playing.
I'm dead serious. Go to the Bola right now and you'll see there's a report on there about the temperature.
Fake news. Africa is like hundreds and thousands of miles away. Come on, stop. That's fake.
No,
it's false. On a clear day, you can see Morocco from.
You know what that's called?
For real?
You know what that's called? You know what that's called, Dave? Alfredo will get it a lot quicker than you do, but that's called a mandar areia pos olhos, a malta. That's what it is.
There's another joke. Wow, Chris. you're on a roll, bro.
The opportunities present themselves, buddy. Yeah. What can I say?
I swear we haven't scripted this. I swear. But yeah, so Nacional preview, which was the continuation of that match that was abandoned, and also Estoril. Benfica plays Estoril on Monday. That's a regularly scheduled or pushed to Monday because of the game on Thursday, obviously. But yeah, that's what we have for you tonight. Want to say hi to the Freddies who have stopped in the chat and said hello. Del Tasca, Manuel da Cunha, Bruno Gil Rodrigues. What's going on, everybody?
They're all shy. Everybody's shy.
Ça va bien, Bruno? Ça va bien? Boris Negrosa is here. What is there to say? Everybody's waiting for us to say something. Yeah, I don't know. What is there to say?
Welcome.
There's things to say, obviously. I mean, and Fabs 8,000, 9,000 is also here. Fabs, um abraço. Yeah, I don't know if there's much to say. Let's start with the Bologna game, but you've heard us say it here on a podcast that the past 4 games and even have not been very good games for Benfica. They've been games in which Benfica has struggled, which Benfica has been hard to find a flow and a rhythm. There's some players that are looking a little bit exhausted or worn out, if I should say. But yeah, Andrew Quadros.
Andrew Frames. Tough to watch.
Andrew
lately.
Frames. Bilak da Silva, Jason Gaidola. Hey, everybody's now saying hello. Thanks, man. You guys don't have to participate, but just say hello so we know that you guys are out there.
Didn't Benfica have a player named Bilak a while back? Bilal, remember?
Bilal.
I think he came from Holland, I believe. Remember, he
was from Morocco. He was Morocco descent.
Morocco.
But yeah, he came from Holland. He was like I'm trying to think of what other players were from Morocco that were in Holland. Yeah, but Bilal was from. It was around that Ola John years, if you guys remember.
And then I think my boy Del Tarap took him under his wing, and the kid disappeared.
He took him under his wing into the Lisbon night and never returned.
And we never heard from that kid.
Never heard from him. See, your boy was a seasoned night man. He could go in and out and no issues. But
the streets will never forget.
yeah, Bilal will just went in and never came back out.
Never went. Nope.
But anyway, hello all the Freddies. Thank you for joining us, and thank you for saying hello in the chat. We appreciate it. So let's start with Bologna game. Benfica played Bologna in match day 6, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct.
Somebody's echoing. I don't know if it's one of you guys. I don't know. It's picking up. It's picking up some noise. I don't know if it's from headphones or what. But it's okay. Manny Valadão is here, so we can get started. Let's go. I'll give you the lineup. Trubin was in goal. Ba, Araújo, Otamendi, Carreras, Auschwitz, and Tino in the middle. Di Maria, Kokshu, and Artur and Pavlidis rounded up the front line. I don't know. There's not much that we could say about this game. The first half wasn't the best first half. Benfica needed some points in this game, playing at home. Obviously, the next couple games are going to be hard games against Juventus and Barca, and so Benfica really needed to get the 3 points in order to solidify that position, because I don't know if we're going to be able to get points against Barca or Juventus with those games coming up. So, but yeah, not the best first half by Benfica. I really don't have many details to go into. But yeah, the second half was a lot. I don't know, Chris. You still remember that game, Chris? It was almost over a week ago.
Unfortunately, I do remember it. I remember it quite well. Funny enough that you mentioned something just now that you actually said the same exact thing on the previous podcast, which was that no, this is going to be Benfica's best chance to pick up points out of the remaining 3 games, and there was actually people that try to tell me you and I were doing a Benfica disservice, and I said, how so? Well, because you got to believe. If you don't believe, and I'm like, what the believe? If my belief meant anything, I mean, I'd be world champion every single year. I mean, what the? But yeah, I mean, I like you hit the nail on the head. This was by far their best opportunity. Not saying that if you can't get some points in the next 2 games, but it's going to be totally different level, as I like to say here. There's levels, much higher level of difficulty in the next 2 games. But Benfica seemed like, what's the word, man? I don't know if there was urgency. It seems like Benfica always pulls 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 of these games out throughout the year, which is they feel, like they believe in their own press clippings that they're supposed to be Bologna. Bologna had 1 point in the Champions League up until that point. They'd been a disappointment, and they felt that just because they're Sport Lisboa Benfica playing in a packed stadium, that they just walk onto the field and instantly just get 3 points without having to do anything. And the reality is Benfica didn't really create much in that first half. It was a little bit disappointing. I have some criticism for some players, but we'll get through the first half and the second half, and then I have my thoughts on that. But yeah, I feel like there wasn't any urgency there. I feel like Benfica could have taken this first half a little bit more serious than what they did. It's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate because fans turn out. We all, again, the belief, right? We all believed around the world that we were going to win this game, and if it was just as easy as that, as our belief, bro, we wouldn't be going since 1962 without a Champions League. We wouldn't be here, fighting, trying to get back to top of the first place in our division. In our division, I mean, in our league, after being down a stupid amount of points. But yeah, belief. I wish it was as easy.
Yeah. No, and I mean, if I remember correctly, I think the best chance was really that Di Maria volley at the end of the first half. I thought that was a good chance for Benfica to get on the scoreboard, but it was
they had the chance right at the second minute with Pavlidis, but he was offside.
He was offside. He was offside. And Fabs is saying that I flew to Lisbon for Bologna. Thank God we scored the offside goal. Those 20 seconds of celebrating were good. That was the only thing that was good about that game. The rest just sucked. But yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult to watch a team that we thought, okay, well, after we get rid of Schmidt and Lage comes in and puts the players playing in the positions that they're supposed to be playing, that we're going to see some improvement. And it was that initial impact or effect or Cristiano. That's why they call it chicotada psicológica, meaning there's a shakeup and the players mentally they get in a different headspace than what they were the previous coach.
You sound like Hugo now. That's
no,
you. You keep saying that.
But the thing is that we saw that initial effect, and then after that, the team hasn't really evolved. If anything,
Yeah, but I could tell you something different in that. I could tell you again, not to say you guys are wrong, you and you, not to say that there isn't any of that in it. But I think one disappointment that I've had, right, so far with Bruno Lage is we're right back to the same criticism we had of Roger Schmidt before, which is there is never any rotation. So you can call it the initial chicotada psicológica, or I could call it maybe the players just fatigued because it's always the same 12, 13 guys that are playing out there.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's not much rotation. So I'm pretty sure it's a combination of both. But again, if you point to either one of those, I'm not going to argue with you.
Yeah. But yeah, second half the team was a lot better, but really wasn't enough. I mean, we were on top of Bologna for most of the second half, and towards the end of the second half, we were on them, and the goalie made quite a few good saves to keep us off the board. But yeah, not really creating as much. I think that that patience is wearing very thin with Pavlidis and anywhere else that we stick in the front line that haven't been able to produce, and I think that's a big factor right now for Benfica. The fact that Pavlidis hasn't. We saw the initial struggles, but we saw some. At least I did. I saw some positives in Pavlidis, but it's getting to the point now that it's just oof. The misses, the missed settlements, the loose balls on his feet. I mean, I don't
Bro,
know.
he had that golden chance in the second half.
Yeah, he did.
And that one touch too many. And I guess he tried to control it with his left, but then he nonchalantly tried to place it on goal. I don't know. It just seems that these guys, when they're getting their opportunities in the box, they're rushing everything. They're not composed. Pressure is clearly getting to them. I don't know if it's due to the fact that they don't have the ability to do so, or as I just stated, the pressure is getting to them. But at the end of the day, this is just simply not good enough. You put that ball away, the game is a whole other game. Maybe the pressure gets, lifted a little bit, and guys are able to play a little bit more freedom. And this goes into the next game against you call it AFS, I call it AVS. I don't know what the hell that team is, but whatever that team's name is. And it's like at some point, these strikers that Benfica have signed for 18 and 20 million. And you know what? I could throw in another one. He's not a striker, but I mean, Koksu, my man, can you finally do something? You're the most expensive player in the history of the Portuguese league. And you've been getting a pass. You're not doing jack, shit. Last year, we all gave you a pass because we felt Roger wasn't playing you at the right position. But now you're playing in your position. You're still not performing against the Bolognas of this world. And it's just totally unacceptable, that these players get on this team and it seems like they forgot how to put the ball in the back of the net. And it is very frustrating and it is very hard to stay positive when you see clear opportunities in front of goals, such as the ones we've seen this week. And desperdiçam essas oportunidades, and it's
Yeah,
unacceptable for a club like Benfica to have these types of players not putting away these tap-ins. And again, at the end of the day, we're going to sit there and rue the moment that ball didn't get in the back of the net. Luckily, I think we have enough of a cushion to get through to the next round of this Champions League. But you never know, right? You never know. And it was all right there in front of you. All
yeah,
you had to do was suck that ball away. And I mean, it doesn't mean that Benfica would win the game, but I think ultimately, I think they would, because obviously now the game opens up. The other team has to come forward. Maybe you score 2 or 3, but maybe they could also tie the game, as we saw on the weekend, right? It depends how Benfica will be able to to cushion that initial phase, that initial pressure from Bologna, because we all know it was going to come at some point. But still, it's just it's unacceptable, man. Game after game,
Yeah.
and it to a guy like me, it is. And I know I'm going around in circles, guys, but I've bitched about this forever, and it's infuriating that the one guy on the field that is a clear difference maker is a 36-year-old value, bro. Nobody else on the field does shit, and it's just I'm tired of watching this, bro.
Yeah.
I'm really tired of watching. And then it always happens in the Champions League
Yeah.
against the Bolognas of this world when the whole world's watching and paying attention, and we throw up a dud.
Yeah.
But you know what? You got to stay positive because
Yep.
the positivity.
Boris brings up a great point. Actually, fact. Bologna comes into Stadio Luz, only having won or actually gotten 1 point out of 5 games. So, I mean, this is a team that you should be clearly beating. Manuel Acuna says this team doesn't inspire faith or belief consistently. It's always games like these against Bologna, where we think we should win and we think we are much better than the opponents, but we drop the ball. That's exactly right. And Feyenoord was another example. I mean, you come off that win against Atletico Madrid, and you shit the bed against Feyenoord. Dave, how did you see this game, Dave? Let me hear your opinion.
You just hit the nail on the head there about Feyenoord and Atletico, because I was gonna say those points that we gained against Atletico mean jack shit. They meant jack shit after we lost against Feyenoord, and now only picking up a point against Bologna here. We're gonna be fighting tooth and nail to. I know Chris said he's confident that they should manage to squeak through, but there's still quite a bit of teams there with below us. Some good strong opponents there that are below us with 9, 8, 7 points there that can pick up points in these last 2 match legs. So ideally, you'd want to come out with at least 1 point in these next 2 games, if not a victory to build up that cushion. But yeah, overall, Bologna, we knew we're gonna be organized defensively, as most Italian teams are. You already gave credit to their keeper. He made some good saves against us when we had anything, when we did create any chances. But none of the chances or none of the shots were really quality or placed on target properly, right? Give credit to the keeper, but any proper finishing, we should be scoring at least 1, if not 2, in this match. And not
Hey,
to
Dave,
what's that?
we might just get saved by that 1-0 loss in Bayern that everybody criticized.
That might be the saving grace.
Exactly. We hope. We'll see.
Yep.
Hopefully, it doesn't come down to that. But you know what? That might be our saving grace.
Yeah.
Would you go and apologize to Bruno Lage if that's the
case? Fuck no.
No comment.
I wouldn't.
Hey, does he repeat that same lineup in the Club World Cup in June against Bayern? Does he go no striker and everybody behind the ball?
I mean, hopefully in that game against Bayern, all the backups will be playing because they've won the first 2 games, and that game will be meaningless. So
yeah. By the way, for you guys that are listening, stick around. We have news about the tickets for the Club World Cup that's taking place in between June and July. Well, 2 games have gone on sale. We'll let you know what's going on.
So when you say stick around, like after we end the podcast, they guys just hang around the barn?
Stick around listening to the podcast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but anyway, yeah, look, not the best showing by Benfica, and to be honest with you, I was concerned, but I'm starting to get a lot more concerned. And we know where we've been in the past season, and it becomes tiresome to watch this team, depressing to watch this team. And I was hopeful, even though Lage wasn't my first choice, I was hopeful that he would be able to at least put the players in the right positions, and things would kind of work themselves out. But really, things have gone a little stale.
I mean, not to give them a pass, Alfredo, but in the second half, they did perform much better. And I think the difference between that first half and the second half wasn't much that the coach changed in terms of tactics. It was more of the urgency.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's what I said in the beginning of my comments, which is the team lacked urgency. The team lacked intensity.
Yeah.
The team,
So you're
just
not
got on
really.
the field like what it wouldn't be feet. So again, he changed that in the second half. They played much better. I believe if they played in the first half the way they played in the second half, Benfica easily walks away with the 3 points. So he was able to fix something. We don't understand why the team lacked the urgency or the intensity in the first half, but at least he identified that and he changed it, and the team went out there and performed much better. And to be fair, they were unlucky to get away without the 3 points.
Yeah. I mean, I guess you could say that for sure. I guess you could look at it that way. But yeah, Dave, you got stats
Now,
on
when you
this?
start combining it,
Go ahead, Dave. Yeah, Chris.
I was going to say, now when you start combining it with the other games, right? Because I'm pretty sure we're going to get into another game. That's where you start, the frustration starts to seep in. But you have to separate the two. We're clearly just talking about the one game. So you can't let the other game affect your judgment on that one game because we didn't know what was to come at the weekend. You get what I'm trying to say? So again, not to defend the coach, but the second half, the team played well. I'm disappointed that they didn't play like that in 90 minutes.
Right.
So let's be fair. That's it.
Dave, stats?
Not a good one here. Benfica with only one win at the Estadio de Luz in their last 7 Champions League matches, which came against Atletico Madrid this year.
Yeah. And Boris brings up the great point that do you even realize that Bologna didn't play with the original 11? As a matter of fact, and I was going to mention that before, they had seven changes to the usual lineup.
Well, that's because they only had 1 point. They only gained 1 point, so they had to make changes to the
Something
lineup,
had to
and
change.
they got another point.
But,
Or you could say we tied because those guys that were playing gave it more of an effort than the other guys would have given it. So I don't know.
Yeah. Andrew Frames is saying it's been many games now since they've played with confidence and urgency for 90 minutes. Every game's a slog now, and I agree. Which is a perfect segue to our next game against AFS, AVS, whatever you want to call them these days. But Chris was complaining about rotation, and rotation we had against AVS. Trubin was in goal. Bas, Silva, Araújo, and Best. Obviously, Carreras was out with suspension.
Suspended due to yellow card.
Yeah. Auschnitz and Barreiros, Kokshu, Amdouni, Artur Koglu, and Cabral. So Silva, Best, Amdouni, Barreiros, Cabral were the changes, and I mean if you look at the lineup, yeah, there's a clear intention there to rest players. Tino plays all the time. Di Maria plays all the time. I think that even looking at Turkoglu, I think this guy deserves a rest at this point. But yeah, a game up north is never easy. We got on the board in the 17th minute off of a really nice play, a combination play.
Beautiful play.
Which Amdouni finished with a great shot that hit the post and went in. But yeah, I thought this was a decent first half by Benfica. But then again, you look at when there's this many changes to the lineup, you kind of figured, oh, maybe the team is going to drop off. But no, the team actually had a good performance in the first half. They didn't score as many goals as the expected goals shows, the statistic for expected goals shows, but they were on top of AFS or AVS, and you thought, yeah, this is going to be in a bag. And then second half came out, and I don't know. Blaj makes a change in the 61st minute. He brings in Pavlidis for Cabral and Di Maria for Barreiros, which I didn't understand. Did we really need Di Maria? I know he's been our best player, but, I mean, we're winning the game. Let's control the game. Let's put the game to sleep. I just didn't get that. And then after that, I think we basically lost our midfield.
This is another game that everything we can say here in criticism of the coach applies, and I'll get to that in a second. But all of this nonsense could have been avoided if, as I stated before, and I believe guys, the Freddies have said as well in the chat, if these freaking strikers could score a goal and make it a 2-goal lead, we don't have to suffer through this. And then, as we seen, there was a dam that there was water starting to trickle in. And this is the first game that could actually sit here and say Bruno Lage completely misjudged this
Yeah.
when making his substitutions.
Yep.
And the substitutions he thought he was making were going to hold up this damn dam. No, it was just like he misread it, took away Barreto, who was actually not doing much, but he's running around a lot and
Yeah.
clogging up a lot of space.
Yep.
And was the one guy with energy in the middle of the park. He takes him out, and the damn dam just collapsed.
Yeah.
He made it worse. And again, out of all the games so far, and again, you could point to the game against Bayern, whatever. But as we said before, we might very well be saved by that 1-0 loss. I think he did that intentionally. But this is the one game I could sit here and point to that he's really dropped the ball. His changes in the second half really paved the way for AVS or whatever the hell you want to call these guys to apply pressure and finally force their way through. There's some things I'm really unhappy about. I don't understand what Trubin was doing on that final ball, the cross. The guy headers it back across, a below into the box, and he's tall as hell, and he's just sitting on his line. He should have come out for that. There's few seconds to go. And the other thing that I don't understand, and I'm gonna ask you guys this question, and not to try to ignore some of the negativities, negative stuff of this game, but once that game, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Dave, the fourth referee issued 4 more minutes, correct? 4 or 5 more minutes, whatever it was. They score. Just right there is a minute killed. Don't shit, Alfred, you're a ref. Shouldn't they have added another minute? I mean, I'm not saying that's the reason why Benfica dropped the points. I'm just trying to get down to this whole rule with the minutes. I'm not clear on it. So
yeah,
can you help me on that?
I don't know what the exact ruling is for how much time you give if there's a goal scored within at a time. I know we all know that there's 30 seconds. 30 seconds should be added for every substitution that is made. That I know, but I don't know how that works. But common sense would say, if there's a goal that's scored in the at a time period, there should be a little bit more time added on to the game, because obviously the game is dead for that time while they're celebrating. But I don't know. Look, I thought that the other team's coach, Daniel Ramos, he made a couple changes in the second half that really made a difference. And I think unlike Lage, he was able to read the game and he was able to make changes that made an impact. And I think that Lage, going into what the first half that we've had, why change things, especially when you take out Barreiros. You take out a player from the midfield that's covering the midfield, that's clogging up holes, that regardless of some of the limitations that he has, that is still a player that balances the game a lot in terms of your defensive transitions, and he took him out. I didn't understand. I thought there was an awful move by
I don't
Lage.
have a problem with him taking him out, but when he took him out, the replacement shouldn't have been Di Maria.
Should have been Tino.
Or bum-ass Pavlidis. Should have been Tino right then and there.
Right.
If you're going to do it again,
like for
especially when you brought him in a few minutes later. I mean, if if
try
you try to
it.
but again, you should have done it initially. I hate when coaches try to save players, right? And then ultimately they're going to. So if you're not going to use them, period, I totally understand. But if you're willing to use them 4 minutes later, why not put them in now?
Yeah,
I don't understand. Why wait until the momentum gets on the other team's side, and now you're on the back foot and you can't recover?
Yeah.
I don't understand. And the other thing I like to say before I be quiet about this game, so I can let Dave talk, because Dave hasn't said much today, is I said this on Twitter, and I mean this. Is I wish there was a way Benfica could leave Pavlidis and Cabral over there and wherever the hell Alves is from and brought back Nene. Old man Nene. Yo, man, every time they touch the ball, my man caused danger.
Class.
And it just goes to show you different players, man. The difference. And the old man was a terrific player in the Serie A, and he still has that ability to put the ball on net, create scoring opportunities. It's just too bad that we have these $20 million sipples on our team that can't do half what an old man like that could do. Yeah. It's sad. Now I'll be quiet. I'll pass the ball to Dave.
Boris says that just call him ASS rather than AFS or AVS. a normal Benfica should score at least 3 versus ASS because Boris. Yeah, I agree. Dave, some thoughts of yours on this game?
I agree with Chris on the trooping on the his positioning on the last goal, but if it wasn't for him making a couple of big saves,
Yeah,
this could have been a 1-1 much earlier on instead of
maybe
right
2-1 at
at
the end.
the last minute. Yeah, he made a couple of big saves. I haven't been a big fan of his this season. He's looked at a position on some goals, but I thought he stepped up big in the second half when the team in front of him really wasn't coping well with the pressure. He ultimately gives up the goal at the end, but I thought he made a couple of big saves prior to that. But yeah, that whole second half just completely shambles once Barreiro comes out. And one player though, I know we talk about our strikers lacking confidence or making one too many touches and not getting the right touch, but I know in a small sample size, but Sheldrup comes in, and if it wasn't just for a couple of inches there on that offside call, we do get that second
Yeah,
goal. And I want to see more of this player. I know he seems to be further down Lodge's pecking order, but I
yeah,
feel like there's definitely something there with him, and I'd like to see more from Sheldrup going forward.
yeah. I think that the team in general has gone stale. So I mean, I agree with you, Dave. I'd love to see more Sheldrup. I'd love to see more Prestiani. But the thing is that Lage works with the players every day, so he knows whether or not they're ready to play. He knows whether or not they can get used or interpret the system, interpret the orders that are sent out. I don't know, but at this point, I mean, Artur Korklu just looks spent. Not as effective. He's still assisting, right? But it's not as effective. He's not taking people on like he used to. He just looks exhausted. Just looks exhausted. I'm not sold on Amdouni, to be honest with you guys. Kokshu has been inconsistent, as Cristiano mentioned. Auschness still Auschness, but I don't know. Ba is inconsistent also. I don't know. I just this team is dragging ass at this point.
I like Amdouni. I like Amdouni. I like
You do
Amdouni a
like
lot.
Amdouni? Would you
Just not at
pay?
that.
You
Just
gonna?
not at that $20 million
That's
price
what I was
tag.
just about to ask you. If you'll
Yeah,
pay 20
you
million
put
for
at
him.
12.
I,
Put at 12 mil. I like him. 12 mil.
I,
I'm good.
I
But
like
the,
what he brings off the bench there. He's got some good pace and skill coming off the bench. I don't know if it's one right now at this stage of his career
Yeah,
to trust as a starter, but I like what he
I'll
brings
go.
off the
I'll go
bench.
one further. I'll go one further. I At this point, the way that our team is playing and the way that our two big money strikers are misfiring, and we don't necessarily play for a striker. I'd actually start him over them too. That guy, anytime the ball is anywhere near him, he's ready to shoot. My man will shoot from anywhere on the
yeah,
field. And every danger, again against Bologna, every dangerous play comes off his foot. The guy's just a shooting machine, bro.
yeah,
You put the ball by him, and you got to be expecting a shot. So, not that he's anything spectacular, but I do like him. I don't like him at that price tag. I would like to see him play a little bit more. I'm just not sure he can play over Di Maria and even Artakuglu. So, therefore, I'd give him an opportunity over the other two guys who just
yeah,
clearly can't deal with the pressure of playing at Benfica. Now, the other point you guys made, and this one always bothers me, whether it's Prestiani, whether it's Shaldru. I mean, these guys have shown me no reason, nothing, for me to want to put them out there and give these guys a bigger opportunity. And the reason why I say that is, yes, I get it. I understand. You're all going to tell me they play 15, 20 minutes. I understand. But in those 15, 20 minutes, in my heyday, they used to say, bro, call Marelva. All right. Do everything you got to do in your effort to convince everybody that you're hungry, that you want to play. Do you guys honestly see that from a Shaldrup every time he's out there? Because I don't.
I think this is the most time he's been given the 10 minutes that he's played this off the bench. The other times I've honestly haven't even realizing because it's usually 90 plus minutes. I'll have to go back and see, but I don't think he's gotten more than 10 minutes
yeah.
of time
Yeah,
this coming
look,
off the bench.
I agree with you, Chris. I think that these guys haven't done enough, but at this point, I need some fresh blood. I don't need to
I get
try
it.
different
I get it.
things.
This roster is very limited, but then we're gonna run into the problem that we ran into at the beginning of the year when Cristiani was starting, is that we're expecting these results to come, but we don't have the quality of players on the field to get these types of results because these players are inferior.
Yeah.
They're not as good as you make them out to be. They're not as good as the Benfica make them out to be. I mean, as a matter of fact, 98% of this roster is nowhere near as good as the Benfica make them out to be. And that's why we're always struggling in these games because you take away a Di Maria, you take away a Cabreras, all right? Carreras, not Cabreras. Everybody else is good players and leave it at that. Stop blowing and overblowing Tomás Araújo. Stop blowing Tino. Stop blowing after these guys on the field that are nowhere near as good as what you guys think they are. If they were as good as you think they are in the Campeonato Português with a bunch of uncles, then guys should be able, Benfica should be winning these games easily and handily. And that's not happening. It's a team filled with a bunch of overrated guys and a bunch of guys that are anywhere near as good as you guys think they are. And that's why, and I'm not defending Brunage here. And I get it. I would like to see Chaldru play more too. But every time I see the guy play, I don't see anything from the guy. He looks like he lacks confidence. He's very timid, doesn't take on anybody. And every time he does, he loses the ball, loses the opportunity. I mean, at some point, you have to speak. Your play has to speak for yourself. And I haven't seen any of that. So it's cool. Let's start forcing these kids onto the field, right? Before they're ready or before they show that they're worthy of playing time. And then we're going to come out here on the Benfica podcast and talk about therapy and how we're all down because the club isn't winning. So that's where we're at.
Yeah. Boris is saying Cabral was a hero versus Monaco, but doesn't have what it takes. He may leave by the summer. I read that there's interest from Atlanta and the MLS to grab Cabral, and their season starts, I think, they start camp in like February or March, something like
February.
So I don't know.
No, the season kicks off late February, Alfredo.
Yeah.
So it's like they start preseason in January, like
Right.
in like third week of January. I'll hit up Keaton tomorrow to ask him and stuff. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that's what it is because I believe they start the MLS season in late February.
Yeah. Del Tashka says we missed Carreras a lot in this game. Yeah, no, I agree. I think that Carreras
we did.
Just adds a lot. He adds another dimension. The guy could go forward. He could play a combination ball. He's
Yeah, but we're screwed with him too, Alfredo. Because the more we show him to the world, the more we show him. Come on, we're so fucked. Oh my god,
yeah,
we're so screwed.
And look, just to put a bow on this game, we had the opportunity to after Thursday's game, to be first place and is it the Alvalade or playing Sporting after the Estoril game. So after this week, next weekend, not this weekend, next weekend we'll play Sporting. We had the opportunity to go there and really put the pressure on them, and now really the pressure is on us because we're the ones that have to win. So, but yeah, it sucks. It sucks because we fought so hard to get where we are, and on the table, and with the game on hand, we have the chance to leapfrog Sporting into first place, and it's a lot easier to play in first place than play chasing. But
Yeah, but Alfredo, I've said this to 50 people already since then. Who's to say Sporting doesn't lose any more points? I mean, we'll see.
No,
By the time we play Sporting,
we don't.
We might very well. We might very well be in first place. And then the other thing is this: I don't think any of us here, right, and including the Freddies in the chat. By the way, smash the like button, Freddies. I don't think any of us here thought that Benfica was going to go undefeated or not drop any points for the rest of the season once Benfica hired Bruno Lage. I understand that we're frustrated at the way things happen. I mean, 9 games in a row 9 victories in a row, at some point, you're going to drop a point here and there. We're all unhappy it came now, but if this is it, I'm cool with it. You know what I mean? Let's win the next game. That's all that matters. But unfortunately, the next game might be not snowed out, but what's it called?
Fogged
out. Fogged out. Because, the last time We couldn't get the game, so let's just reschedule for the same time of year at the same exact time because the fog then won't be around. I mean, these people, these decision makers, spectacular.
Yeah,
Spectacular.
Dave. I don't know if we got your thoughts on this ass game, ASS.
Thoughts or stats?
Both.
I gave my thoughts about Trubin, but
Yeah.
if we're jumping over to the stats, first drop points in league competition under the Bruno Lage 2.0 era. Trubin finishes with 6 saves, the most this season by him. And in the last two league games, Benfica have been outshot by both of their opponents. So against Guimarães, they were outshot 10-8, and against AFS, they were outshot 18-13.
Where in the
Benfica.
world where in the world does this make sense? Where Benfica is being outshot by teams that are middle to low end of the table in the Portuguese league? Where is onde é que isto cabe
Hobbs'
na cabeça?
roster, Alfredo. Hobbs actually has some decent offensive players. They're decent. Now, their defense is not very good. And we got lucky. They didn't even have the Mexican legend, Alex Ochoa. Not Alex. What's his name? Memo Ochoa.
Yeah.
Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't even have him because, we scored that one goal. Maybe. No, I'm joking. But it would have been fun to see that guy play. Every time he plays a big game, that dude stands on his head. But yeah, they do have some quality players. I'm telling you, you guys might think I'm dumb, but
Chris, they're 15th on the table, bro.
yeah, they hadn't won a game. They hadn't won in 8 games. I know, and I think that's what Benfica took them lightly. And the changes that Bruno Lage made, it made sense. So we're playing these monkeys. Let's make all these changes. But then all of a sudden, you couldn't adapt in game. And credit to them, their decent players showed up to play. And I'm telling you, I'm not sure that net right now at 39 or 40 would
41.
have give a better run at Benfica than
41.
these other two guys. I'm telling you, that guy is lights out. That guy is a phenomenal. For his age and stuff, I'm not talking about this
Yeah.
guy is on the GOAT list, but I'm saying he's a fantastic player. Even at 41, you can tell his quality with the ball at his feet.
Yeah.
And it's sad that Benfica doesn't have a player that creates, aside from Di Maria, doesn't have a player that takes anybody on. It's just, dude, Benfica needs to go into this January transfer window. You need to get a real number 6. You need to get another winger, a guy like it's sad that we lost the Nets, but you need a guy like that. Go find a guy like that, and you need to figure out a way
The
that
forward
you can
situation, bro.
package.
You need
That's
a
where I
guy
was
to
going.
put
You need
the
to. That's where I was going. You need to figure out a way to package Cabral and so and get rid of and go get you a goal scorer because we haven't had one of those in a long. Go get me Sverovic, bro. Believe it or not, Jesus
for
Christ.
this.
Well, guess what? He scored 31 goals. Let me see Pavlidis do that.
In his prime. Agora tá lá para as Arábias, não doesn't score anything.
Não estou a dizer para ir ficar Pavlidis 2, mas estou na brincadeira. Estou a dizer a minha Pavlidis. Pavlidis, como é que é? Sferovic. Não estou a falar de Sferovic 2, man.
2.0.
Claro, o gajo está todo roto.
I think
Mas you need...
o Muso ainda dava um jeitinho, se calhar.
Epa, na próxima coisa mais é o Tempster. Epa, parem com essas merdas.
Anyway, yeah, so that's it for that game. And now look, we found out today that the pre-sale is live. You could go to Ticketmaster.com. Look for.
It's not live. Afraid it goes live on Thursday, but you could go to the if you have a code now.
If you have a code, and we're about to give you the codes because we're good like that. Thank you to Michael for giving us the codes, by the way.
Yeah, you got to go to my OnlyFans.
Yeah. And, so Ticketmaster.com. Just search for Benfica, and then the 3 games will show up. For the Miami game, the code is 8MIA25. So MIA for Miami, obviously, and 25 for the year 2025. You could go there, select that. Once you're on queue, I think then you have to put in. I don't know how it works. I think you put in a code or not. And that's the game for Boca. That happens on June 6th, I believe, which is a Monday at 6 p.m. down at Miami and Hard Rock. 16th. Miami Hard Rock Stadium. Then the code for Orlando is 2 OCS25. That's the code for Orlando match where Benfica will play Auckland FC, a team from New Zealand.
No need to rush to buy tickets to that game. There will be plenty of available seats for that game.
That's what the stadium sound like.
Benfica. You get one guy with the cricket screaming. Benfica.
Yeah, I mean, just go out there and grab ticket. And look, I know there's still a bit to go, but we would love to get together with some people down in Miami on.
Yeah, you guys could buy me a ticket and I'll sit next to you.
The game. There's people out there selling meet and greets, Chris. You might as well sell those meet and greets.
For a meet and greet in Miami. Yep, there it is.
Yeah, I mean, maybe we could get together on Sunday night before the Monday game. You still have all of Monday to recuperate from any Sunday night festivities. And I would love to get together with a bunch of people.
Yeah, I know it's early, but that all depends on how many cookies Santa Claus leaves me, bro. I don't know if I'll have a body to be meeting up in Miami. We'll see. It depends on
June, June, Chris.
It depends on it. It could be a lot of cookies, bro. We'll see.
You're right. So if you guys want to score some tickets, Ticketmaster.com, and use those codes again. For the game against Boca, the code is 8MIA25. For the Orlando match against Auckland FC is 2OCS25. So thank you. Anyway, turning our attention now to what's up next for Benfica. We got the Nacional game, which we already spent some time talking about. That happens on Thursday, 5 p.m. local. Possible fog and dust from Africa. Who knows what other natural phenomena could be happening at the Madeira Island. I don't
Next thing we turn on the TV on Thursday, it'll be 30 degrees and snowing. That's gonna be the national.
The thing is, where they have that stadium, it's on the highest peak of the mountain. So the rest of the island can be 30 degrees and sunny, and everybody at the beach, but that stadium is always going to be foggy where it's located.
Yeah. And then we have Estoril on Monday, 6:45 local. Estoril, what's Estoril up to, Dave, these days?
Currently in 12th with 14 points from 3 wins, 5 draws, 6 defeats. 1 win, 2 draws, and 2 defeats in their last 5. Historically, all in our favor, 55 wins, 14 draws, 5 defeats in the previous 74 meetings. The last 10, 8 wins, 2 draws, and last 5 at the Luge, 5 wins in a row.
Yep. So that's what Benfica's got coming up. What else? A couple pieces of news. Ba, Araújo, and Auschnitz all renewed with the club. So those are the news. I don't know if there's any more renewals, but just wanted you guys to be aware of that. I think that Auschnitz was a good renewal. I don't know about Ba. I don't know how much more time he had in his contract, but it is what it is. What else we got? We got anything else? Cristiano, Dave?
I just saw Luizão's returning back to Brazil.
He's disconnecting from Benfica. I think he's gonna run some kind of event business in Brazil. Event organizer. So after all these years, he's finally left Benfica in the winter transfer season.
Couldn't milk us anymore, eh?
No. He's finally stopped holding that shit over our head, and he finally moved on. That's great. Great for Luizão. Good job. That's it. Next week, since it's Christmas week, we're going to try to get to you on Monday after the Estoril game, because obviously Tuesday is Christmas Eve, and who wants to do a podcast on Christmas Eve? Not me. And Cristiano will be waiting for his cookies and milk. So that's all we got. We'll be back Monday of next week. Thank you all the Freddies for being with us, keeping us company, being active in the chat, thank you very much for those of you that just hung out there without being on the chat. We appreciate you, all of you, the guys that are silent and everything. So everything is good. I hope everybody's done with their Christmas shopping. If you're not, like the typical Portuguese, always leave everything for last. It is what it is. But thank you so much. We'll talk to you again next week. Take care, everyone.